Day number 11. I think 11 is some kind of magical number, right? It's 2 ones. Got to be important. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Welcome back, friends. You're back for day number 11. This is the 11th day in the Aldi beer advent calendar. Yesterday was a little bit of a, I don't know if catastrophe is the proper word, but it was just a little bit off. So go back and see the 10th, the video from the 10th if you're interested in what I'm talking about, but we're going to move ahead. New day, new beer, number 11. If you're following along at home, it's the third row from the top. First beer on the left, it is number 11. It's red. It has some Christmas bulbs and some trees and some stuff on it, a star. Let's go ahead and crack this. Be very gentle when opening this box. I feel like if I pull a little bit too hard, if I'm not really trying to separate this, the whole thing could just turn into matchsticks. So let's go ahead and pull this down. What do we have here? Today, we have a 5.6% ABV Pale Ale. This is by State of Brewing. As you can see here, as I mentioned a couple days ago, I feel like there's 4 different categories so far of beer, of can labels. I do like the labels. We have the abstract like we have for the Pale Ale. We have the IPA, which is like the psychedelic thing. We have just the plain ones that are just they say the name of the beer on them. And the fourth one is the flag. So the different, if it's like a Scotch ale, it'll have a Scotch flag. If it's a Belgian white ale, it'll have the Belgian colors on it. So today we're looking at this one, the Pale Ale. It looks like it has some, I don't know, it looks like almost like pears or an avocado or something crazy on it. Let's go ahead and grab our glass here. And let's see what we got. So we're going to crack this. First, we're going to take a look. This says the best buy date is July 27th, 2023. This is by State of Brewing out of Waunakee, Wisconsin, if I hadn't mentioned it already. And let's crack it and put a nose on it. This one's bubbling over, and I'm just going to pour it because I can't. Wow, that's the first time that's happened on these advent calendars. And because it's a one take, I only have one beer, I got to just pour it. So I'm not going to be able to really measure and tell you what I think the aroma is and how much head, because it's a lot. But what we can do is we can talk about the color. Let's put this on the Eric Latowski can cam. And if we look at the beer here, I'll hold it up to the light or hold it up to the camera. It looks to me, so the lights I have come obviously through the front. So I see a little bit of a different perspective to you. This looks pretty amber to me. It has like a golden, yellowy brown kind of look to it. Head is really fluffy, so if you like head on your beer, it's going to have a ton of it, but that was obviously a consequence of opening it and just having a boil over right off the bat. Let's put a nose on it for the first time. What is that aroma? It smells like just barley and malt. Like if you go into a brewery when they are brewing a beer, this is what it smells like. It smells just like that. Not really getting much of it. There is like this very faint citrus or really sweet fruit aroma to it. I'm ready to just get a foam mustache, so we got to keep this moving along. Let's try it out. Cheers. So we always talk about the mouthfeel first. I would love to talk about the flavor first, but I'm going to talk about the mouthfeel. It's a little bit chewier than I would expect from a pale ale. You know, like I was mentioning on yesterday's video for the 10th, the IPAs you generally think of having a little bit more of a chewy mouthfeel. This is a pale ale. This pale ale has a bit of a chewy kind of mouthfeel. It's a little bit of a thicker mouthfeel, but it's still, actually it's not really as light as the other ones have been. I think all the beers so far, they've been a little bit disappointing in that every individual style, save from yesterday and this one, have all had this really thin, crisp, like almost overly crisp mouthfeel. This one has a bit more of a chewy mouthfeel. Let's finally talk about the flavor here. Now, IPAs and pale ales are different. This, though, probably of all the IPAs, even we've had 3 IPAs so far, this is a pale ale. This one is probably has more of the most bitter quality to it. I know that's not really a great qualifier, but it actually has this bit of a bitterness on the back end, and it really starts to shine through once you take that swallow. Once the aftertaste has really put a nice firm hold on what's going on in your mouth here. I feel like it has a lot more of this bitter quality on the tail end. On the start, there is a bit of a maltiness to it. It has, like I mentioned about the nose on this, is that it smells like a brewery brewing beer. It tastes like a brewery brewing beer. It has what you smell is what you get on the front of the taste. On the swallow, on the aftertaste is where the bitterness comes through. So that's where it kind of starts to differentiate itself. This is, I guess it's kind of pretty much on par with what I would expect from a pale ale. It's not, it actually is a little bit more bitter than the IPAs, so maybe that's saying something more about the IPAs than it is about this pale ale. But I feel like this is a little bit more true to the style, and that bitterness really shines through on the aftertaste. This is a pretty solid beer. I think it is more of an indictment against the IPAs than it is against this pale ale. This pale ale is pretty good. I think of like something like a Zombie Dust. When I think of this, Zombie Dust is obviously 10 times better than this. I would just go out and pick up a 6-pack of Zombie Dust if you wanted to see what this was like and just pretend like this never happened and just enjoy your Zombie Dust. But the IPAs that have been in this box so far have been, now having something like this, they've been pretty disappointing. They haven't quite been up to par. I think the first one, the American IPA, was pretty much like a watered down Two Hearted. But I think I think the other ones, I mean, it still wasn't great. But I feel like this is probably, if you're looking for an IPA, wait for day number 11. Hopefully, you'll get the same thing. This is better than all the IPAs that we've had in the box so far. So come back tomorrow. Let's see what the 12th holds for us. Maybe we'll get something crazy out of the ordinary. So until then, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are State of Brewing out of Wanakee, Wisconsin. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. We'll see you tomorrow for the 12th. Hope to see you then. Cheers.